such a legendary foundational conversation. If you're catching us here, do your life a favor. You're not doing yourself justice by not starting this thing at the very beginning. We've been talking for hours and we're still in the 80s. How amazing is that? Imagine the kind of information that you have missed. So most no hurry, just go start from the beginning and enjoy the conversation. If you're still with us, it's a good one. Share it, don't just be greedy, share with the needy. Anyway, let's go on. So where we've left this thing off, I want to understand, I hear about this exodus of musicians and the creative sector in this era of the 80s. I want to find out, how did the coup, and in particular also Moi's presidency being in that coup, affect the creative industry?
Okay, the creative industry, but I'll confine myself to the music sector.
Yes, music.
Mombasa being a touristic, or the coast being a touristic region, was really affected, like I said earlier. And there was a huge drop in the number of tourists. So bands had to be innovative. And then Nairobi, equally, there was a huge drop. That's why now musicians from Nairobi started flocking to Mombasa on the thought that, hey, the tourist hotels are still there, but many didn't know that the numbers had dropped, so the jobs, the gigs were minimal.
Okay.
Yeah, so that went on for a while, I think a year or so.
And what about freedom of lyricism, or that didn't affect you guys, the kind of music you were doing? You are not doing political music.
No, we've avoided politics.
Unless it was the free Namibia.
Yeah.
Did you do anything for
Uhuru,
Mandela?
Namibia, and a few others, but they were not really to be critical in praise or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about then TV? Color TV has come into the picture.
Yeah.
KBC's. Is it given at that time? This time has it now become
Initially,
KBC?
it was still VOK.
Okay.
So we appeared once on VOK from Mombasa, and all of a sudden,
On what show?
I can't remember.
Or maybe with the president.
I can't remember. And then we were told unofficially that you guys have dreadlocks, you'll be a bad influence to children, so you are not going to be featured on VOK anymore.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, so by this time you have dreadlocks.
Yeah. So sprouting sasa. Three siblings in the band had dreadlocks.
Okay.
Myself, late George, late Dennis. So we were sporting our dreadlocks, and back then dreadlocks ni mau ama ni rasta, mtu wa ile mambo yale mengine.
Yes.
So
You
we
got a
were
block.
told hamtatokea tena. Hiyo mmetokea basi.
What?
So it was for a while, I think 2 to 3 years. And then we got audience with the late Sharif Nasir, the MP for Mombasa. He had seen us performing at these government functions. So we told him, mzee, sisi tumekatazwa, wewe ndio waziri wa utangazaji, twaomba, manake TV itatusaidia. Wanangu, nani anwakataza? Hebu niambieni. We couldn't give any name because it was unofficial. I said, haya basi, niwachieni mimi. Mtaona kama hamtakuwa kwenye. Tena mwatoka Mombasa kwangu, mtashindwa kuna. And he did it. Next time, we sent a proposal because one of the top producers in the country, TV producers, is late now, was our neighbor. And we approached him. We told him, look, we're not permitted to go on TV direct. So we perform at the Severin, but we have this idea. We told them we want to start a show where we'll engage the other bands so that you can have a whole program featuring the bands that perform in beach hotels. And he bought the idea. So we started, then I think Safari Sound were featured and the other bands. And that was God again in timing with the lifting of the unofficial ban for them mushrooms on TV by Sharif Nasir.
What?
That's Then this show came on VOK TV. We called it Burudani. It became so big.
It's huge.
Yeah, it became so big.
Sundays.
I think they used to air it on Sunday. So that's how we got back onto TV. The only broadcasting station back then, TV broadcasting station.
That's insane. And let me ask this. So, if this is what the perception is from the people on TV, dreadlocks, that means even on the ground, there's a certain perception of the dreadlocks.
Yeah.
I mean, let me be real. Even till today, some people can be seen with dreadlocks,
yes, exactly,
and
exactly. There's a very wrong perception about dreadlocks.
So how was that perceived? What was your mom's thoughts on it and things like that?
Well, on the ground, many people thought that we are into drugs and all that. Bendi ya marasta, instead of now calling us the mushrooms, ile bendi ya marasta, because initially we were the only band.
And the mushrooms we know is the drugs.
Yeah, you see. So this went on so much, and some of my mom's siblings complained to
siblings.
her. Yeah, complained to her, said, umewachilia watoto, sasa wanaonekana ovyo, wanapiga muziki kwanza, alafu. This really pissed off our mom. Really, really pissed off our mom. She said, I know my kids. Nawajua watoto wangu. Kama ni wakora, mimi ndio nawajua. And then after a month or so, she went and donned dreadlocks.
What?
And she came back, mama, asema, si wao waitanyi wakora. Mi najua wewe unwi pombe, wewe ufanyi hivi. Basi mimi sasa ndio mkora mkubwa. If dreadlocks qualify one to be called a vagabond or anything, then I am one. Yeah. That's the kind of support we got from our mom.
Your mom.
And she donned dreadlocks for I think 3 years. Paka hiyo ikaisha ndio akakata.
What?
Yeah.
What did that support feel like?
Out of this world. We always knew we could count on our mom in both ways. She was lovingly mkali. Very. So she did a lot of things just to support our talent. I remember before we bought music equipment, we were going out for a gig. We used to go out to hire equipment. Hapa pale, guitar pale, drums pale. So we get to this guy. We had paid a deposit, I think a week or two prior to the show. We get there with a mkokoteni. We used to go with a mkokoteni in Guraya, a place called Guraya. And he tells us, bwana, wajua ile pesa mko mmenipatia, pesa yenu ino. Zile drums bwana mimi nakodishia, I don't want to mention the name, nimekodishia jamaa fulani. Kidogo nipa pesa nzuri. Because we had bargained to the bare minimum. That's around 1 o'clock. We have to start performances at 4. We were so dejected. We went back home. Tunaingia. Our mom is there. Imekuwaje? Mbona mmerudi? Hamwendi kazini? Mama, hatuna drums. Kwa nini? Na mimi niliwapatia pesa mwende mkakodishe. Fulani amekodisha hizo drums mahali pengine. Kwa nini hakuambia siku zote hizi? Hatujui. So it really, and she didn't take it lightly. And then she told us, kwani hizo drums ni pesa ngapi? Kambia, we don't know until we go to the only music shop then was Shankadas in town. 2, sorry. We went to Shankadas with Shankadas and Asanans. Nendeni mkaangalie mimi nitawanunulia.
Wow.
So the next morning, we missed that show. The next morning we went, we checked, we saw a pearl drum set, blue in color, I remember. We went back home, kambia mama, tunaangalia chini ile drum set iko lakini ni expensive sana. Pesa ngapi? I can't remember. It was either 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 shillings. I said, haya, saa fulani muwe tayari tutakwenda huko. So walienda na Teddy na Billy. And she bought us our first ever drum set. We
Mama
have
is
a
clapping
photo of
'cause it's
that
a drum as
drum
well.
set with our first ever drummer and the first logo of the mushrooms. You know, we changed our logo along the way.
Yes.
We have that photo.
The drum set's home.
Yeah.
Man, your mom was supportive.
That's how supportive she was. She was a visionary. She could see in us what we probably were not seeing.
Yeah, okay. Fast forward to 87. You guys have you have a residency at the Carnival. Things are going amazing. You're feeling the place. You've got a good clientele, MD, CEOs. Where does the story go from there?
So
And you're back on TV.
Yeah. We were at the Carnival. One thing, that contract gave us flexibility. We were not performing at the Carnival on Saturdays.
Ooh.
So all of a sudden, we started getting corporate shows on Saturdays. CB launch, yeah, product. Is it a festive season, end of year party, what have you? So all our Saturdays became booked.
That's added
from
revenue.
The references we got from the Carnival.
And the references you got at the Carnival are the best.
Yeah, yeah. So it was so good. It was a good run, 2.5 years. Then we got tired.